Let's go back to the Doctor Who here on
Quickie Plays.
There you go.
So he's on the little platform.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's a little teleporter platform because now I'm going to the Dalek ship.
Oh, you're going to the Dalek ship. And it's even yellow teleport effects because it's Dalek.
Yes.
That makes sense. See what they did there.
Nice little touch.
Anyways, to continue my story.
Yes.
So Ian and Barbara, the first companions.
Yes.
Their whole goal was they wanted to get home.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the first chance they get, they're out of there.
Yes.
They find another ship. I think it's a Dalek ship.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, can this get us home? Cool. Bye.
Okay.
That's it. They're not like, oh, gee, but we really liked traveling around space and time. No, they're just gone.
Just totally gone.
They just go back to London. And there's like a happy little montage of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Doctor comes back and ruins it?
No, he just leaves. And then it's just him and Susan.
Okay. So wait,
Actually, at that point, Susan's gone.
so he has 3 companions at one point.
Oh, yeah. No, from the very first episode. Because it's him. The mystery girl that gets followed home is Susan, his daughter.
Yes.
The only person we ever see on the show that is actually related to him, that is also not a clone,
Yes.
that he then marries out of character.
Yeah, that's
That's just, yeah.
a clone that he marries. It's also actually the daughter of one of his previous incarnations.
Yeah. Fun times.
It's almost as confusing as Doctor Who canon itself.
Oh, yeah. No, because Susan leaves because they travel to Earth in the future. It was the second time the Daleks came back.
Uh-huh.
And Susan falls in love with one of the Resistance fighters.
Yes.
And then they're about to leave, and the Doctor's like, you know what? I'm just going to lock you out of the ship.
He just leaves.
Well, he doesn't just leave. He goes over the megaphone thing that I guess exists in the TARDIS.
Yes.
And he's just like, look, Susan, you can have a life here. That's pretty sweet. And then she's like, okay, that sucks. But also, yeah, I guess you're right. And then he just leaves. So it's just him, Ian, and Barbara. Who is the next companion? They get another young girl at some point. I know at one point they're in Rome? Not Rome. Trojan horse. What did they invade? What did they invade with the Trojan horse?
Troy.
Troy?
Yes. The Greeks invaded Troy with the
Yeah,
Trojan
that's what it
horse.
was. It's that episode, and they pick up this chick from Troy.
Helen of Troy?
No, it's not Helen. It's some random girl who they realized as soon as they like put her in the show that they hated her and didn't like writing her because she was super far from the past. So she spent most of her episodes thinking she was dead and she was traveling with the gods.
Okay.
And then like 3 episodes later they killed her
Oh.
by jettisoning her out of an airlock.
They jettisoned her out of an air.
Not the Doctor, some random villain did it.
But still.
Yeah, it was the first on-screen death in Doctor Who.
Oh Jesus.
It was just funny because they're like, we don't want to write. Oh, those are some strange angel-shaped statues.
Yeah, I was gonna interrupt your story, but every time you like go a certain distance off screen where you can't see an area, more of them show up.
Oh, that's neat. Do they actually do anything, or is it just a fun little Easter egg?
Well, I know in the actual Lego Dimensions level, they're like part of the puzzle where you have to like move around while the lights keep going off. And when one of them gets close enough to you, it locks you in this little bubble, and you have to move them around on the platform to get them out of it.
That's cool beans.
Yes.
Cool beans indeed.
Yes, this the Doctor Who stuff's a lot of fun in this game. Mostly because I like Doctor Who, so I'm seeing it as more fun than some of the other stuff.
Yeah. And as long as it avoids tying itself too closely to the show,
Yes.
I'm sure I'll mostly enjoy it.
Well, I mean, I'm on Trenzalore right now. Do you like Trenzalore? See? Big old TARDIS.
I'm gonna go with no.
Why? You didn't like the idea of it?
No, the idea of it was cool, but Trenzalore... What is this?
I need him to dig that little pit.
Him? Ooh, who is this gonna be? I wonder who it is. I dropped him.
God damn it. Oh, come on. Come on.
Is it working?
Where is he?
He's down there.
Hey, Scooby. Like, he even runs like a Scooby-Doo
Oh,
cartoon.
that's great.
Oh,
Is there a Scooby-Doo level?
There's an adventure world, and then I know...
There's Scooby-Doo World.
Yeah. And then there's a level, like, part of the main story has a level that takes place. Oh, this was just an extra thing.
Can you give him Scooby snacks?
Oh, cool, I got the purple one. Sweet. Yeah, I've got a giant sandwich back here.
That's not a Scooby snack.
I'm sorry. Are you telling me that this big-ass sandwich here is not a Scooby snack?
No.
Oh.
It's not. Scooby-Doo had comically oversized sandwiches, but then also had the box of dog treats that were specifically named Scooby snacks.
Are you thinking about pup named Scooby-Doo?
No, this was canon Scooby-Doo.
Maybe
Like, whenever they were in a kitchen, they were always like, oh, we're going to make comedically oversized sandwiches. But that was a huge plot point where they're always like, oh, we're going to go investigate the bedroom. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, you have to go investigate the basement that's also Satan's bathroom. And they're like, how about no? And they're like, would you do it for a Scooby snack? You don't remember that?
No, I do. I just don't. I guess I'm just not remembering when he actually had Scooby snacks in the show.
And then every once in a while they would like amp it up and be like, would you do it for Scooby snack? And he's like, no. Would you do it for 2 Scooby snacks? And he's like, oh man. Oh jeez, I don't know. 3 Scooby snacks. He's like, oh jeez. It was good times.
So anyways, you were saying, I think we were talking about jettisoned out of an airlock.
Yeah, she died pretty quickly.
That was the first on-screen death.
First on-screen death. And then they got Vicky, who was from Future Earth.
Okay.
She was fine, I guess.
So I'm guessing this was back in a time where they picked their companions from not, like, 2015?
Well, not the same exact time that the Doctor was from.
Or the real... Man, they're following me.
Because the Doctor and Susan were both from Gallifrey, which did not become canon until the end of the second Doctor.
Yes.
Ian and Barbara were from current times.
Which was the 60s.
Yeah. But Vicky was from Future Earth. Like, at one point, they're watching a clip of the Beatles performing, which at the time was, like, super hip.
I remember seeing that and thinking that was pretty cool. And
yeah, because then Vicky pops in and she's like, oh, I didn't know you like classical music. And Ian and Barbara were like, what?
It's weird because that's now a thing.
Yeah. Classic rock.
I think they were trying... Now, I could be wrong with this, but I think they actually tried to get the Beatles on an episode. And when they couldn't, I think that's why they went with just the video.
That wouldn't be surprising.
Because I think the video shows them, like, getting off one of their planes. If I remember correctly. Now, I've never actually watched the episode myself.
No, the video that they watch is when they were on that talk show.
Ed Sullivan Show?
Ed Sullivan Show, that's the guy.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, yeah. I think they were only on... They might have been on it a few times. I could be wrong. I'm not... God damn it, all these goddamn angels.
So after Vicky, and I don't remember exactly when Ian and Barbara left, but they leave, and I think for a while it's just Vicky and Steven, because Steven's a guy they find on some random planet, and I think he's also from the future.
Mm-hmm.
But they end up leaving him on some random planet, because he can, like, help the natives, and he feels at home there, so he's going to build himself a new life.
Okay.
There's a lot of finding random people and dropping them off in random places throughout space and time.
It sounds like it.
Then eventually, for the first time in the show, Vicky, I don't remember if it's Vicky.
So this is that thing I was talking about. I need you to move him to a different location on the board, because he's time-locked.
He's time-locked.
How do I...
What is this, the Time War?
I'm trying to... Oh, Jesus. I'm going to need you to unlock me again.
Do I just have to keep doing this?
No. It's because I'm... There we go. I was trying to figure out where they were.
I forget who it is. It might be Vicky or Steven. Someone leaves.
Because the first Doctor ends his run with 2 companions in the TARDIS with him, right?
I think so.
And I only really remember this from...
Oh, yeah, he does. It's the 2 people that are really annoying.
I just remember it from the that TV movie they made about...
Oh, that TV movie was so good.
It's too bad they couldn't convince... Or they didn't decide to go with...
Bringing him back?
What the heck is that guy's name?
David
Bradley. They didn't bring him back.
David Bradley? Is it David Bradley?
I'm pretty sure it's David Bradley.
The guy that played Finch,
yes.
Who was also in Dinosaurs in a Spaceship.
And also Game of Thrones.
Sure.
He just got... Well, that's a spoiler, and unlike you, I'm not going to spoil Game of Thrones for anybody.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones is still going on. Currently.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had brought him back for the 50th. He looked close enough. It could have worked.
That made-for-TV movie premiered the day before the 50th.
But, it didn't get, the 50th didn't get filmed after it premiered. They still could have used him in it as a surprise.
Yeah. I was actually leading into the made-for-TV movie.
Were you really?
Yeah, because there's a point where it's the first time in the show where he's all by himself. All the companions have left to go do their own thing.
Uh-huh.
And he has this little monologue where he's like, oh man, I'm all alone. Maybe I should go home. Oh wait, I can't. And that's what they used in the TV movie. Where it's because they tell him that they're going to kick him off the show.
Uh-huh. And
he has a super sad monologue about how he's alone and everyone's gone. And in the movie, they were using it to make it look like he was talking about how, like, Ian and Barbara left, and, like, the actors and the actresses and all the producers that he started the show with were gone.
Yes.
So they were using that monologue because it was actually script from the show, but also to show that he's super distraught and breaking down because he's old, and everyone he was working on the show with left.
Yes.
It's a really great scene.
Okay. It felt like you were going somewhere with
No,
this.
that was the point. Was that monologue was actually from the show.
Okay.
Which is why that movie was so good. I mean, I enjoyed that more than the 50th.
I still enjoyed the 50th for what it was.
No, the 50th was fun, but
It could have been better.
like the point of the 50th, to a certain extent, I think was supposed to be like a big celebration of Doctor Who.
Yes.
Which is why like all the Doctors come back, and it's we're gonna spoiler alert, save Gallifrey.
Yes.
Like big fun stuff, but it still was doing a whole bunch of weird stuff. Whereas the movie Adventure in Space and Time, by the way, if anyone was wondering, like actually felt like a labor of love. People really liked the show, and it was really cool. They had a whole bunch of cameos with a whole bunch of actors and actresses.
Yes.
Like the chick that played Susan, his original daughter and companion in 1963, was in this movie.
Yeah.
And she's actually still alive.
I think she... Because I think the guy that played Ian, maybe? One of the guys from the show plays a taxi driver in that.
Yeah, no, he's like a valet.
Yeah.
The guy that played Ian originally, he's real old.
Yes.
I forget who else they had make cameos.
I think Barbara might, unless she's dead.
I don't
I think
know
they
about
got
Barbara.
I think they got a lot of the original people to be in it.
I think they got everyone that is not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
we can talk a little bit more about it while we run around Scarrow next time.
Let's see what Scarrow looks like next time.
Next time.
I just wanted to say next time again.
On Quicke Plays.
On Quicke Plays.
On Quicke Plays.